Hello, friends. My name is Kashyap, and today I will be talking about the real India, and I want to give a guidance to foreigners who are going to visit India. This is an honest opinion and honest perspective from my side. I'm not being paid by anyone or I'm not being sponsored by anyone. Have seen a lot of foreigners face a lot of troubles in India, and a lot of them were my friends too. So I don't want any other people to face those problems, and I want your journey to be safe and sound, and also something that gives you meaning in your life. So that is why I'm making this video. So this is India. This is the map of India. India is made of 29 states, and it's like European Union. Each and every state is different from other states. So once you cross the border of one state and enter another state, it feels like you're entering a totally different area with different culture, with different language, different food, different traditions. So especially in South India, if you're traveling from Tamil Nadu to Andhra, and Andhra to Karnataka, and Karnataka to Kerala, all these states are completely different from each other. Even the geography of these states is completely different from each other. So it feels overwhelming to see so many differences, and also we have so many races of people. In South India, people are brown color like me. In North India, people look like brunettes. In Kashmir and all, people look like Caucasians. In Northeast India, people are Asians. So there are lots and lots of people, lots and lots of different races, creeds in India. There are lots of different religions and religions in India. So you need to be prepared to take it all in before you come to India. Otherwise, you will feel overwhelmed and you will feel chaotic. So understand that India is a huge country, and it takes a lot of time to travel from one place to another place in India. And India is technologically developed now, and India is not like the olden days. It's technologically developed, and everything is online. Most of the things you can book online when you're in urban India. That also we're going to see in the further slides. So, what are the typical stereotypes that come to your mind when you think about India? Right, the first one is India is either spiritual. Oh my God, I learned yoga. It was so good. It was so amazing, right? And I learned meditation. There you get that, or you get, oh my God, India is so dirty. People are so dirty. They're so smelly, and everything stinks. Everything is garbage. Garbage is thrown everywhere. People have no civic sense. So these are stereotypes of India. Although those two are true, India is way more complex than just that. India is not just a spiritual place, and India is not just a place where garbage is everywhere. India is way more complex than that, and we're going to see how it is. Okay, so there are three Indias when it comes to my direction through you. To you, for foreigners, there are three Indias mainly. So the first one is the tourist India. So it is basically a curated showcase. So this is the India of guidebooks, travel influences, and glossy brochures. It includes places like Taj Mahal, Jaipur, Kerala backwaters, and Varanasi Ghats. Not so much, because Varanasi Ghats are very very real. But there are some places in Varanasi which are also custom made for tourists. And if you go to Dharamshala, and if you go to Bhaksu, and if you go to Dharamkot, you can see that the boards of the shops are in Hebrew to accommodate the Israeli tourists that come there. So they lose the authenticity, but they make it a touristy friendly place so the tourists can stay there for longer periods. So there is a tourist India, that is a tourist India, and it is colorful, it is beautiful, but it is very filtered. The real India is hidden most of the times, and it is safe, usually safe, and it is usually hospitable, and there is usually crowd control. But the tourist place recently, in these days after pandemic, people have actually started traveling more. In India, people started traveling more after pandemic because I guess they realized that life is short. So now all the touristy places are full of crowds. In the season, if you go in on season, all the touristy places are full of local Indian crowds. And that has really changed the dynamic of the tourist areas, because earlier it used to be Indian domestic tourists who could afford to travel, and also foreigner tourists. And now it is mainly people who just want to, who just are coming from metropolitan cities for a getaway. For Dharamshala, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and all, people come from Delhi for a getaway, or Haryana for a getaway. And it's a similar, any place close to Delhi people are coming there for a getaway and are basically ruining the place. But the spiritual people, the spiritual Indian tourists and the real Indian tourists, they are still coming there and they're still interacting with everyone. So you can get that experience, but it is a bit more crowded in the touristy places. So you need to choose where you want to go, and you need to choose what you are expecting from the travel in India. Are you expecting just to see the places? Are you expecting to take India in? Are you expecting to get some spiritual enlightenment? That is up to you. So based on that, you need to plan your travel, right? And the urban India. So urban India is more fast moving contradiction. It is very fast moving. This is the India of metros like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Although Bangalore has very bad transport, I wouldn't recommend Bangalore, but it is the IT hub of India. It is a Silicon Valley of India. It is where all the IT, it is where your scammer calls from, basically. So, but Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Hyderabad have really good transport, and you can move from place to place very easily. And it is where iPhones meet incense sticks and designer malls stand next to slums, right? These huge malls, some of the world's biggest malls are in India right now, and they stand right beside to slums because that is life in India. Okay, so foreigners often feel safe in pockets like cafes and offices, expat zones, but also overwhelmed by traffic. There's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of noise, and there's a lot of class divide, especially in cities. There's a lot of class divide because you can clearly see who is living on a footpath and who is living in a middle class life traveling by metro every day, and who is living in a rich life traveling by Benz cars every day, right? Urban India is not trying to impress you, it is just busy surviving. It is just like any other city in the world. Urban Indian cities are also like any other cities in the world. They're also moving forward, and it's busy surviving. Get here, you meet young Indians, activists, artists, coders, cynics, and dreamers. And one more thing about urban India, in urban India, everything is online. Everything is online. Payments are online. Your food comes online. You can buy groceries online. Within 10 minutes, you can get deliveries of food and groceries. You can book taxis online. You can book tuk-tuks online. You can book bike taxis online. You can book parcels online. Everything else is online. Earlier people used to stand in queues to book a train ticket. Now everything is online. Book bus tickets are online. Hotel bookings are online, so everything is online. So make sure that you know which apps to download so that you can book everything online, right? People usually go only for booking.com and what is the other, the hostel world, yeah. But there are a lot of other Indian apps like GoIbibo and Paytm, and there are not Book My Show. Book My Show is for movies and all. So there are a lot of Indian apps that you can use, and they give you cheap rates also. So be online. When you're in urban India, utilize the online apps. And the next India is the rural India. Rural India is the hidden soul of India. This is where 70% of Indians live. This is the India most foreigners will never see, and it's where the realest India lives. Small villages, tribal areas, farmlands, and temple towns where time really moves slowly. And there is less English in the rural India, but they do understand. India has the second highest number of English speakers in the world, so they do understand English. They can communicate with you with little English words, come eat, with the signs and all. They can understand you, and they can communicate with you, but it's a little bit difficult, but it is easier. It is easy with Indians. It's easy because they always try to communicate. And yeah, I do the Indian head nod too. So yeah, but there is more trust, more simplicity, and more honesty in rural India. People are quite curious about you. For example, there was this black tourist who was in India, in southern India, and a child literally went to the tourist and he was comparing the skin colors, and he was like, "See, mine is lighter skin tone than yours." And the black tourist, he didn't take any offense because the child was just being curious because he has never seen a black person before, right? A person of African descent before. And people are curious like that in rural India, and often they will come to you for selfies, but politely. They will come to you politely, and usually families invite you for lunches and dinners, and sometimes they invite you to stay with them, and they want to show you their entire village, their entire cultures, and you will get invitations for weddings, etc. in rural Indias. So this India can be a profound experience if you come with humility and not entitlement, because there are villages where you can't even find a proper toilet because the toilets are in Indian style. So the West, we call it Western style and Indian style toilets. So Western style is the normal toilets that you're used to. Indian style is the one you have to squat upon. So in urban areas, it's mostly Western style, but in rural areas, there are still some Indian toilets. Okay, so like that, there are small issues like that that you might face. So you need to go there with humility and not entitlement. And there is a third India, that is spiritual India. I'm sorry, there is another India, that is spiritual India. This is where you get your ancient knowledge and yoga. Okay, there is a lot of ancient knowledge in India, especially in Hinduism, and there is a lot of benefits from yoga, like pranayama, and they are physically beneficial to you, psychologically beneficial to you. But when it comes to religion, every religion is patriarchal, and Hinduism is no exception. That religion is also patriarchal, and when you dig deeper, like when you visit temples, when you visit ashrams, you will see these things, that women are not allowed to enter certain places, women who are going through periods are not allowed to enter certain places, and it's mainly dependent on women. Men can go shirtless, but women can't. They have to cover themselves up really well. So that kind of patriarchy which you might not see in your country, the direct kind of patriarchy which you might not see in your country, you will see in India. But the direct kind of patriarchy which you see in your countries, like the wage gap and all that, you will not see in India. In India, if you're a government employee, irrespective of your gender, you will get the same wage, right? And beware of fake babas. So 99% of babas in India are fake. Usually foreigners get curious and they meet these babas and they try to talk to them. They want to know about their lives. But you need to know that 99% of them are crooks, criminals, pedophiles, and predators who often take advantage of you either physically or financially, or they might use you. Some young babas are coming up these days, like they look like me with this long hair, and these young babas, they want marketing with foreigners, so they might use you for marketing, which is harmless if you are okay with it. But if you're not okay with it, you need to be sure that they're not forcing you into doing any marketing for them for free, because white people or foreigner people will give more marketing to Indian babas, right? So beware of fake babas who will try to loot you. And yeah, this picture depicts it. They look exactly like that, some of them. Okay. And what are the fears that foreigners usually face, especially women who usually come to India? What are the fears that you might have? So, will I be harassed? Will I get sick from the food? Will I get scammed? Will I be followed? Will I be judged? And the answer to all these questions is yes. Yes, you will be harassed based on the place you choose to visit and what you consider harassment. So, if you're in North India, harassment is quite rampant in North India, and so is lawlessness. So, but also North Indians are really friendly, and really their culture is completely different than South India, and they are really helpful when it comes to families and women. But in North India, you can see that women wear shorter dresses than in South India, because the patriarchy is so direct in North India that women have to fight. So they fight by wearing whatever they choose, and they fight directly with those who harass them. And the harassment is also a bit direct, inappropriate touching and catcalling and asking for your numbers and forcing you to take selfies. All these things are quite common in North India, but not so common in South India. In South India, people are more polite. They will not force you to take selfies and all. And wherever you go, you might get some stares, but it's not creepy. It's not too creepy, and people won't just crowd you up and harass you, in South India. And what you consider harassment also depends upon you. Like, yes, or there is obvious harassment, like touching you and catcalling. These things are obvious harassments, but you get a celebrity status. A foreigner will get a celebrity status when they come to India, and some people seem to enjoy it. Wherever you go, people want to take a picture with you, and It's like a celebrity. You're like a celebrity, and they want to know your Instagram. You'll get more Instagram followers. So if you enjoy it, it is fine. But if you don't enjoy it, you need to set your boundaries properly, and you need to adjust yourself with the situation, and you need to keep yourself on the move when there are crowds piling up around you. Okay, so yes, and you will get sick from the food even if you eat from the most hygienic places due to simple biology. Let me explain this. So our gut in every region has certain bacteria, and that gut bacteria changes from region to region. So when you're coming from a western nation to India, your gut has to adjust to the Indian bacteria. This is good bacteria, and your gut has to adjust to the Indian bacteria. So first you will get sick no matter where you eat. Even if you eat in a five-star restaurant, you will get sick in the beginning, and then once you're done, like one or two vomitings or diarrhea, you will be done with it. Once you're done, you need to choose where to eat. You can't just eat everywhere in India. And once what happened, I was traveling with an American, and he wanted to eat somewhere, and I said that, see, that place doesn't look so hygienic. Let's not eat there. And he was like, hygienic? So you people do care about hygiene? And I was like, oh, casual racism. Thank you. But yeah, Indians do care about hygiene. So what you can do simply is ask any middle class person around you where they can eat hygiene food, and they will tell you. They will tell you usually, and usually those places are hygienic and you can eat there. And when it comes to street food like pani puri and all, you can be sure that there's a 50-50 chance that you will get sick. So that is a risk you have to take. So street food, 50-50 chance of getting sick. But when you want to have a good meal and all, ask people and they will help you. Okay. And just assume that everyone in tourism industry is trying to scam you unless you depend on reliable sources. For example, if you already have an agent before coming, and then you can depend on that agent, or if you have a travel concierge, then you can depend on the travel concierge, but never depend on auto rickshaw drivers, taxi drivers for your hotel bookings. Always try to book online, and always try to pay online, pay off after you visit the place, not before, you know and beware of these scams. Like, there are many common scams like overpricing, giving you knockouts of brands and charging you more. And there is to foreigner charge and Indian charge. You need to be careful of all these things, but also you'll have an advantage. Foreigners have an advantage. For example, I will give you an example. There was a huge queue to a museum entrance, and I had one of my white friends with me, and I just told her, you're a foreigner, you have the privilege, you can just go and ask for the ticket instead of standing in the queue. And she just went to the first person and she was like, can I please take a ticket, please? And the first person was like, yeah, please, sure, go ahead. And she took the ticket. So there are advantages of being a foreigner in India. You can cut down the crowds, you can get preferential treatment, but also there are disadvantages where people try to take advantage of you and try to rip you off. And you can be followed by creeps, especially in the north. You can be followed by creeps, and based on what you're wearing also. Like, if you're wearing short skimpy clothes, they might follow you. And usually when they do follow you, you can just ask a local woman to help you, or local cops to help you, or any students to help you, and they will definitely help you. Okay, but I would tell you not to lead them to where you're staying, because that would create a whole another mess. Okay, you can just call your hotel also. You can call your hotel guys and hotel or hostel guys, and they might help you. Okay, and you will be judged based on your trust. That is everywhere in the world. It is not just special to India. I know that people can be very judgmental, especially Indian aunties. Even though they are very helpful, they are very judgmental. Oh my God, look at her clothes, it's so short, it's above her knees, and she's showing her arms and shoulders, and look at the cleavage. They can be quite judgmental. But no matter how much they judge you, you need to adapt yourself. You either should be ready to fight the judgment, or you should be ready to adapt yourself to the environment. Simple as that. You're not going to go to Rome and act like a French person, right? So know what to wear where. Okay, so this is a sample example. I created this image through AI. So this is a typical image in Goa, in beaches of Goa, and in some beaches of Kerala, in some beaches of Pondicherry. You can wear bikinis, and it is completely normal, and people don't give a F about it. And in metro cities, you can see the dressing style here. A formal dress or dress that is covering you, but it is also modern. You can wear a modern dress in metro cities. But when you're going to tourist places or religious places or rural areas, you don't need to exactly cover your head, but women North India, women cover their heads due to discrimination. In South India, women don't cover their heads. So you need to wear something very Indian if you're going to tourist places and religious places, especially where there are lot of Indian crowds like Rishikesh and all, Rishikesh, Dharamshala, etc. Okay, so this is the type of clothing you might wear, and workaway scams. Okay, this is something that nobody talks about, but a lot of people get scammed in workaway or other volunteering schemes. So if they ask you to pay for volunteering, the situation is probably a scam, right? Especially in workaway, they will attract you. They will say that they will host you. They will say that you have very less work to do. But once you go there, they will ask you to pay 500 a day, 1,000 a day for the village experience, and they can just be honest about it that they're you know there some people are just honest and they will right away tell you about it. So they will just tell you, see, we are charging this much, and if you want to come, you can come, and that is fine. But some people, what they do is once you go there, they keep demanding money from you, and there is no transport there, there is no proper mobile network there, you will not have any help from others. So you are stuck there basically, and you can't get out of that place until you pay them what they want. So you need to be very careful. So before you are so if your workaway host is ready for you, make sure what their intentions before you visit them. And if you're going to an isolated place, make sure that there are already foreigners or Indian travelers volunteering there, right? And especially if some there are some friendly volunteering places like Oroville. Oroville is definitely a good place for volunteering, right? Everybody knows that. But in rural Himachal Pradesh or rural Uttarakhand, where they're asking you to come to a rural village somewhere, then you might be careful. You might need to be a little bit careful, right? So yet, India is safe, but not in the Western rule book way. It's safe in a human way. In a someone will help you at 2 a.m. kind of way. It's you're never truly alone kind of way. For example, one of my friends' car broke down, bus broke down while she was traveling from Dharamshala to Delhi, and it broke down near a really bad town. And she called me in the midnight at 2 a.m. and I tried to get her a transport. Meanwhile, I was trying to get her a car or something. There was another family there in the bus, and that family just simply offered her a ride. They were just like, "Yeah, we will take care of you. Don't worry. We will take care of you and we'll take you to Delhi safely." And they dropped her in Delhi safely. So it is that kind of safety in India. You will never expect who will help you. You will never expect who will harass you. So you need to have that judgment inside you. You need to have that instinct inside you to know who is trying to help you and who is trying to scam you. Okay, random strangers will often help you. See, basically, the simple guide is if they are not in the tourist industry, if they're not in the tourist industry, and if they don't have anything to gain from you, they're trying to help you. Yeah, unless they're a creep. You can tell if they're a creep. Creepy people have creepy vibes. Unless they're a creep, you can usually assume that if they don't have anything to gain from you, they're probably trying to help you. And Indians usually help other people without expecting anything in return. We don't expect anything in return. All we expect is a thank you at most. That's it, right? So you can expect people to help you, and families will invite you for lunches and weddings, as I have told you earlier. And most Indians are curious and hospitable. So when they're trying to help you, they will also ask you a lot of questions. They'll try to get to know you. They'll try to get to know your life story, and they'll basically compare their life to your life, and they just want to see, how it is in India and how it is abroad. Because most of us Indians can't afford to go abroad, So we, whenever foreigners come to India, that is the exposure that we have. Okay, and most Indians suffer from Stockholm syndrome. So because of the British, even though they are not our captives, aren't they? Even though they are not our captives, we still love white people a lot. We still love British people a lot. So whenever British people come, the usual greeting you will get is "Welcome back." Okay, so people are quite friendly towards foreigners. So yet India is safe. Okay. So this is a artificial image I created of a family having food with a foreigner. Okay. And India is full of contradictions. So someone may stare at you, but they might be trying to offer you help with your bag, right? They might be staring at you, hesitating whether to ask, whether to offer you help or not, and whether how you might react or not, or something. Okay, and you might get overcharged. You might get scammed by these taxi drivers and restaurants and hotels, but also you might get some free things from random strangers. Some random strangers can give you free things out of just hospitality and out of just friendliness. And a man may follow you, but only to return your lost phone. So these things happen. These things happen. Sometimes they thought that a creep was following them, and he was actually trying to return a phone. Okay. So India, it confuses your instincts but rewards your courage. So you need to be courageous, and pepper spray is legal in India. So if you want to use pepper spray, go ahead, and police won't care because it's legal. Pepper spray is legal in India, and you can use pepper spray for self defense, but just don't go and spray it on other people like perfumes. Okay. So this is these are the pictures. So on the left, you can see a picture of a foreigner in South India where he's getting help from the locals, whereas the middle picture is of a foreigner in North India where people are asking for selfies, and there are a lot more people. And these are the common scams that are done. Taxi overcharging, fake tickets, scam temples. I mean, like temples don't usually scam you, but people might scam you that they are guides and they might get you darshan in temples. Okay, temples don't exactly directly scam you. They never do that. Okay, temples or any other religious institute, they never directly scam you. So it is usually some other person who is not related to the temple who is scamming you. And some phony goods. Yeah, we have Bangladesh right beside us. So even the brands that you're wearing are phony brands. They're made in Bangladesh. So we will get some products from Bangladesh that might seem phony and that might seem overpriced. Okay, and for female travelers, these are the things you should know. Dress modestly in temples and rural zones. Avoid night travel alone. Okay, avoid night travel alone unless it's a night bus, like night bus or a night train. It's fine. You get into the bus in the evening and wake up in the morning and get out of the place, then it is fine. But if you're getting out of if you're traveling alone or walking alone in a street in the night, it is not safe for you, neither for Indian women or neither for foreigner women and men. Use verified cab services like Uber, Ola, or autos via hotel, but don't live in fear. Okay, don't live in fear. Aunties, guards, shopkeepers, they will look out for you. Okay, people usually look out for foreigners. When there is a foreigner going around, there is a lot of attention there, and people usually keep an eye out for you, so that nobody is scamming you. And sometimes they come and directly get involved, and they bargain for you when someone is scamming you, and they help you get out of the scam. And South India is considerably safer than the North. So if you're coming to India for the first time, first come to the South and then go to the North, because North is more densely populated, it is more intense than the South. Okay, so and South is more tourist friendly, especially states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu. They are very tourist friendly because they get a lot of tourists all year around. And Pondicherry is a place where there is an international city. So these places are quite safe for you as a starter who's coming to India. Okay, so this is a picture that AI created about North and South. This is a huge problem. This selfie taking is a huge problem. Sometimes they, in the guise of taking a selfie, they come and touch you, they come and hug you, they come and grope you, and sometimes they just want a selfie to show on Instagram. Hey, look at my white girlfriend, or look at my foreigner girlfriend. You know, And Indians are also racist, so they call white people Gora, that means red. Somehow Gora is white, and they call Chinky for Chinese people and Asian people, and yeah, they have racist names for black people too. So Indians can be racist, but unless you're in a position where you have the strength to fight, don't fight it, because they are quite racist to each other also. So you can't help it. They can't help. Okay. So what is the status of safety of women in India? So when it comes to safety of women in India, the you can go to the cops when it's a serious crime that has happened, but it's more likely to get resolved in the south than in the north, because in the north there are a lot of politics involved with the cops, and cops are not usually as respected as they are in the south. Okay, so safety of women is just like the safety of women everywhere else in the world. Maybe not as bad as some other countries, but maybe not as great as some other European nations either. But still, women are not safe anywhere in the world, and India is no exception. So, what ways India So, what makes India safer than you expect? So, all these things that I have told you might have scared the F out of you, but there are certain cultural aspects of India that make India actually more safer than you expect. So, there are deep family systems where elders protect the guests. So, suppose if you're invited to a home, the elders of the family make sure that you're protected, you're well fed, you're comfortable, and they also make sure that no youngsters are misbehaving with you, right? And there is a spiritual culture, and hospitality is dharma. So, in us, we have Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, and Guru Devo Baba and Atithi Devo Baba. That means mom is a god, dad is a god, teacher is a god, and Atithi, the guest, is a god. So that is the dharma of India. Irrespective of all religions, everybody follows this. So everybody tries to treat the guest as a god, not as a god, but they will treat you really special. Okay, strangers who step in when systems fail. When systems fail, when cops cannot help you, when someone is not able to understand you, strangers, as I said, there are a lot of English speakers in India, so some random stranger might step into the conversation and they might help you out. It is not uncommon for random strangers to just step into a conversation when a foreigner is involved in it. Okay, and foreigners are often treated with special care, as I have told you an example before. You are treated with special care. Okay. Real safety tips from the ground. So I have traveled all over India. I have traveled to the north, I have traveled to the south, I have lived in the north, I lived in the south, I lived in the east, and I have some real ground trips when it comes to India, especially for women. And so when in trouble, find a family or a local woman for help. Okay, when you're in trouble, when you're being harassed, or when there is some trouble or a fight with the shopkeeper, find a local woman or a family who can speak English for help. It is not that difficult. If you're in a tourist spot, it is very easy to find one, and they will help you. Cops are helpful in the south, but might take bribes in the north. And always try to use online services and websites for hotels and travel. Do not rely on agents and taxi drivers. Okay, especially taxi drivers. Do not rely on taxi drivers and auto drivers for your hotels and all. Rely upon these websites and these apps that are helpful to you. Okay, get an Indian SIM card as soon as possible. Once you enter India, the minute you get out of the airport, you will see taxi people, and you can ask those taxi people or auto people to get you an Indian SIM card, and they will help you arrange an Indian SIM card for a certain amount of money. Usually, they take it on their own name and they will give it to you so you can use it. And before leaving India, just deactivate the SIM card so that that guy will not face any other problems because of it. Okay, that is usually how it is done. I think you can take a SIM card on your name also based on your passport, but there is some process involved in it. So you get to know about the process and get a SIM card directly from the companies. Okay, and do not follow random strangers into unknown places. This is for everywhere in the world. This is not just India. This is for everywhere in the world. Go only with trusted people. Ask directly for an ID card for precaution and take a picture of it. So in India, we have something called as Aadhaar card. So you can ask for Aadhaar card and they will show you their Aadhaar card either in their phone or in the direct physical copy. And you can take a picture of it and you can send it to someone for safekeeping so that they know that who you are going with, right? So that is a good precaution to take. Okay. India is not easy, but it's definitely worth it. So you may cry, you may get sick, you may get lost once in a while, but you may feel overwhelmed, but you will also be seen, you will be held, and you will be transformed. India doesn't pamper you. India definitely doesn't pamper you. It awakens you. And when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to average traveler, not the bougie travelers who come to India, book five-star hotels, and live a luxurious life that is not much different than the life that they have there in the West. You know, so I'm talking about the real travelers who come to see the real India. So it awakens you. India awakens you. It will show you your privilege. It will show you your value, and it will show you how you matter. Okay. India is not safe like a mall, but it's safe like a grandmother's house during a storm. Chaotic, loud, a bit confusing, but full of protection that you didn't know you had. Okay. So, conclusion, when it comes to conclusion, if you're open, curious, and aware, India will not harm you, it will heal you. Let's tell the world this story. Thank you. My name is Kashyapa Madhuri, but you can call me Casper. I'm a spiritual guide, a cultural interpreter, and a travel fixer. I can help you with your travel when you come to India if you want it. And I had changed my name to Casper because Casper is literally the Romanized, no, not sorry, no, Greek version of my name. So Kashyapa Mira is Kashmir, and Kashmir is called as Casperia in Greece. So Casperia is Kashyapa. Okay, thank you. That is it for me. And let me shut down these.